of you for today's Ishopanishad class. Let us begin with prayers. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Reading from the book Sri Ishopanishad, the knowledge that brings one nearer to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, by His Divine Grace, Vishwaguru, Abhay Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Mantra 13. Anyadevahus sambhavad, anyadahur asambhavat. Iti shushrumadhiranam yenas tadvicha chakshire. Word to word meaning. Anyat, different. Eva, certainly. Ahuhu, it is said. Sambhavat, by worshipping the Supreme Lord, the cause of all causes. Anyat, different. Ahuhu, it is said. Asambhavat, by worshipping what is not the Supreme. Iti, thus. Shushruma, I heard it. Dhiranam, from the undisturbed authorities. Ye, who? Naha, unto us. Tat, about that subject matter. Vichachakshire, perfectly explained. Translation and purport by Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada. Translation. It is said that one result is obtained by worshipping the supreme cause of all causes, and that another result is obtained by worshipping what is not supreme. All this is heard from the undisturbed authorities who clearly explained it. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The system of hearing from undisturbed authorities is approved in this mantra. Unless one hears from a bona fide acharya who is never disturbed by the changes of the material world, one cannot have the real key to transcendental knowledge. The bona fide spiritual master, who has also heard the Shruti mantras or Vedic knowledge from his undisturbed acharya, never presents anything that is not mentioned in the Vedic literature. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse 25, it is clearly said that those who worship the Pitrus or forefathers attain the planets of the forefathers, that the gross materialists who make plans to remain here stay in this world, and that the devotees of the Lord who worship none but Lord Krishna, the supreme cause of all causes, reach him in his spiritual sky. Here also in Sri Ishopanishad, it is verified that one achieves different results by different modes of worship. If we worship the Supreme Lord, we will certainly reach him in his eternal abode. And if we worship demigods like the sun god or moon god, we can reach their respective planets without a doubt. And if we wish to remain on this wretched planet, with our planning commissions and our stopgap political adjustments, we can certainly do that also. Nowhere in authentic scriptures is it said that one will ultimately reach the same goal by doing anything or worshipping anyone. Such foolish theories are offered by self-made spiritual masters who have no connection with the parampara, the bona fide system of disciplic succession. The bona fide spiritual master cannot say that all paths lead to the same goal and that anyone can attain this goal by his own mode of worship of the demigods or of the Supreme or whatever. Any common man can very easily understand that a person can reach his destination only when he has purchased a ticket for that destination. A person who has purchased a ticket for Calcutta can reach Calcutta, but not Bombay. But the so called spiritual masters say that any and all paths will take one to the supreme goal. Such mundane and compromising offers attract many foolish creatures who become puffed up with their manufactured methods of spiritual realization. The Vedic instructions, however, do not uphold them. Unless one has received knowledge from the bona fide spiritual master who is in the recognized line of disciplic succession, one cannot have the real thing as it is. Krishna tells Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse 2, Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo viduhu sakale neha mahata yogo nashtah parantapa. This supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost. When Lord Sri Krishna was present on this earth, the Bhakti Yoga principles defined in the Bhagavad Gita had become distorted. Therefore, the Lord had to re-establish the disciplic system, beginning with Arjuna, who was the most confidential friend and devotee of the Lord. The Lord clearly told Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse 3, that it was because Arjuna was his devotee and friend that he could understand the principles of Bhagavad Gita. In other words, only the Lord's devotee and friend can understand the Gita. This also means that only one who follows the path of Arjuna can understand the Bhagavad Gita. At the present moment, there are many interpreters and translators of this sublime dialogue who care nothing for Lord Krishna or Arjuna. Such interpreters explain the verses of the Bhagavad Gita in their own way and postulate all sorts of rubbish in the name of the Gita. Such interpreters believe neither in Sri Krishna nor in his eternal abode. How then can they explain the Bhagavad Gita? Krishna clearly says that only those who have lost their sense worship the demigods for paltry rewards. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, verse 20 and verse 23. Ultimately, he advises that one give up all other ways and modes of worship and fully surrender unto him alone. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse 66. Only those who are cleansed of all sinful reactions can have such unflinching faith in the Supreme Lord. Others will continue hovering on the material platform with their paltry ways of worship and thus will be misled from the real path under the false impression that all paths lead to the same goal. In this mantra of Sri Isopanishad, the word Sambhavat, by worship of the Supreme Cause, is very significant. Lord Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, and everything that exists has emanated from him. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, verse 8, the Lord says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. We will continue to read. It's a long purport. We will continue to read in the next session. Now let us discuss the first part of the purport. So today we have begun discussion on a new verse, the next verse, that is 13th mantra of Sri Isopanishad. And in this mantra it is said, Anya devahuhu sambhavat anyadahur asambhavat Ahuhu means it is said. Anyad means different. So it is said, if one worships Sambhavat, Sambhavat means the worshipping of the Supreme Lord. If one worships the Supreme Lord, there is one kind of a result. And Anyadahuhu Asambhavat. Asambhavat means worship of somebody who is not the Supreme, who is not the cause of all causes. That is called Asambhavat. So worshipping someone who is not the ultimate cause of all causes gives you anyat, a different kind of result. Iti shushruma, this we have heard from dhiranam, from the undisturbed authorities who are dhira. Dhira means one who is undisturbed in even amidst material changes, even amidst bodily changes. He is called a dhira. So iti shushruma dhiranam yenastad vichachakshire. Ye naha. Naha means unto us. Ye means who. Tat, about that subject matter, about this transcendental subject matter, vichachakshire. They have perfectly explained. So the meaning of this verse is, it is said that one result is obtained by worshipping the supreme cause of all causes, and that another result is obtained by worshipping what is not supreme. All this is heard from the undisturbed authorities who clearly explained it. So very important conclusion Ishopanishad is giving us. Many times we come across pseudo-religious gurus who say that you can worship any devata, you can worship any god, any devata, and you can follow any process of worship, and you will get the same ultimate result. So this is also famously called as Yatho Mat Tatho Pat. As many mata means opinions. As many opinions exist, those many paths exist. Yatamat tato pat, it is called. Pat means paths. So this is a very famous philosophy. People say, you can follow any path as per your wish. What is your opinion? Whom do you like? You can choose and you can worship. And you will get the same result. So this is a very misleading philosophy. Why? Because it is not in line with actual Vedic understanding. We are seeing in this verse of Ishopanishad that Ishopanishad is clearly saying, if you worship someone who is the supreme cause of all causes, you will achieve one kind of a result. Whereas if you worship somebody who is not the supreme cause of all causes, you will attain a different result. Right? If you go and meet the Prime Minister, you will get one kind of result. If you go and meet some other minister who is of a lower designation, or if you go and meet the councillor in your city or the mayor of your city, you will get a different result. Because both are wielding different powers. Their positions are not the same. How can you say that meeting any minister is same as meeting the Prime Minister? It is not the same, right? Logically, it is not the same. That is what Ishopanishad is saying. But still there are people who claim that, no, you can worship, you can meet any minister, it is same as meeting the Prime Minister. So this is a foolish conclusion. This is just to gather a large number of followers, right? So that everybody is happy, everybody comes to me, whatever philosophy, whatever paths they're following, they will all come to me if I say that you can worship any form of God, you can assume any form like this. So this is just a gimmick for attracting a large number of followers. Whereas in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna is very clearly saying in the 9th chapter, shloka number 25, he says, Yanti deva vrata devan pitrun yanti pitru vrataha Bhutejya yanti bhutani madhya jinopi yanti mam. You see, very beautiful verse. Krishna is saying this. Yanti deva vratam devan. So yanti, yanti means they will go. Yanti has become jati, jana in Hindi. Jana hai, right? Jaoge. Ya and ja, they are like they have been replaced. So yanti means, in Sanskrit there is another word, yana. Yana means prayana, like we say, right? Prayana. Prakrishta rupena yana. Yana means to travel, to go. So that yana has become jana in Hindi. Jana means to go from one place to another place. So Krishna is saying, yanti deva vratan devan. If you are devavrata, that means if you are devoted to the devatas, you will go to the devata planets. Yanti devavratan devan, pitrun yanti pitruvrataha. If you are a pitruvrata, if you are worshipper of the pitru devatas, the forefathers, you will achieve the pitruloka. You will go to their loka, pitruloka. That is one of the heavenly planets. So, yanti devavratam devan, pitrun yanti pitruvrataha, bhutejya yanti bhutani. If one worships ghosts and evil spirits, then you will be born as ghosts and evil spirits. Krishna is saying. Madhyajinopi yanti mam. If you worship me, madhyaji, yaji means to worship. Madhyaji means, Krishna is saying, if you worship me, madhyajinopi yanti mam, you will come back to me. See, very clear. There is no confusion. There is no scope for interpretation here. Krishna is saying, if you worship the devatas, you will go to devata planets. If you worship the pitrus, you will go to pitruloka. If you worship ghosts and evil spirits, you will be born among them. But if you worship me, you will come back to me. So it is very clear. So where is the question of saying that you worship anybody, ultimately you will come to the same goal, same destination you will reach? From where is this coming from? This does not have a basis even in the Bhagavad Gita. And of course, in the Isopanishad, it is saying you get two different results. So it is not correct to say that you follow any path, ultimately you will reach the same goal. This is wrong. It is not correct. In fact, Srila Prabhupada is giving an example here. Suppose you are purchasing a ticket to go to Calcutta. You will board a train which is going to Calcutta. That train will take you to Calcutta only because you have a ticket for Calcutta and you have boarded the train which is going towards Calcutta. Can you expect that that ticket will take you to some other place, Bombay? No, it is not possible. The destinations are different based on the tickets that you have purchased, to which place you have purchased the ticket, which train you are sitting in. Based on that, you have a different destination you will attain. So it is not the same. So Prabhupada says, but the so-called spiritual masters say that any and all paths will take one to the supreme goal. This is misleading. So you take any path, finally you will attain the same supreme goal. This is their philosophy, which is actually wrong, which is not supported by the statements of Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, which is not upheld by the Upanishads and the Vedic statements. See how misleading it is, right? It is not the same. So Prabhupada is saying, such mundane and compromising offers attract many foolish creatures who become puffed up with their manufactured methods of self-spiritual realization. The Vedic instructions, however, do not uphold them. So why are people coming to such misleading conclusions, even though it is very crystal clear in the Vedic scriptures? The reason for this is also mentioned by Srila Prabhupada here. Let us read this once again. Prabhupada says, unless one has received knowledge from the bona fide spiritual master, who is in the recognized line of disciplic succession, one cannot have the real thing as it is. So unless one has approached a bona fide spiritual master who is coming in the parampara system, one will not understand things as they are. That is why it is so important to approach a bona fide spiritual master. Very important. You cannot say, I'll download some PDF books online and I will go through them and I will become self-realized. I will attain spiritual knowledge. No, that is not the way. That is not the way. One has to receive this knowledge from an authorized person who is himself Tattvadarshinaha. Tattvadarshinaha means he has seen the truth. He has realized the truth. Only from such a person, if you receive the Vedic knowledge, you will get the right conclusion. This is very important. Otherwise, we will get some hodgepodge understanding, some spiritual, something compromised understanding, not the bona fide understanding. Right? So, it is important. That means the Vedic knowledge, there are two aspects to the Vedic knowledge. One is the mantras themselves, the verses, the Sanskrit shlokas. Plus, the second aspect is, because Sanskrit is a language in which many words have multiple meanings. And those meanings one cannot assume. So, there are two aspects to the Vedic knowledge. One is the letter, the other one is the spirit. Both letter and spirit have to be correct. That means the specific shlokas plus their explanation, their understanding, the real import of those shlokas, both are important. And the parampara system is a foolproof method that is devised by the Lord himself to ensure that the Vedic knowledge reaches common people correctly in both letter and spirit. The letter and spirit both have to be transferred as it is without any changes. That is why parampara is important. Right? That is why parampara is important. Just like if you are joining a course in a university, the university prescribes the syllabus for your course, and after prescribing the syllabus, the university also prescribes reference material. It says you should refer textbooks written by such and such authors. That means it is university recognized text. That means it's a bona fide source of information, of knowledge that is required to complete your course. If you say, no, I don't care for the university prescribed book, I have found some other guidebook which is very easy to understand, so I will follow that. Okay, it might be easy to understand, but that guidebook should be in line with the university prescribed material. It cannot contradict. It cannot contradict. Then if you write the answers studying that, some other book which is easy to understand, if you reproduce those answers in your exam paper, you won't get marks. I'm just giving a crude example so that we can understand this principle very nicely. So you cannot just go for a user-friendly process. In Kali Yuga, a lot of user-friendly philosophies have come up. Right? User-friendly means what? I don't want to hurt the sentiments of the people in this world. Some guru might say, they are worshipping some devata, they have some faith in that devata. It's okay. Let them worship, and I will tell them that you worship, you will attain the same goal, the supreme destination, which Bhagavad Gita is talking about, which the Vedas are talking about. Right? Now, this is actually keeping the people in ignorance, and it is a kind of himsa. Prabhupada explains, based on the Vedic scriptures, what is the meaning of himsa and ahimsa. One meaning is, physically I should not hurt others, any creature. That is called ahimsa, non-violence. But another deeper meaning is, Keeping a person in ignorance is actually himsa. I know the knowledge. I know that the other person is ignorant. He comes to me for guidance, but for my own motives, for my own purposes, I wantingly keep that person in ignorance and giving an impression to him that he has knowledge. He is making progress in real knowledge. This is actually himsa. This is himsa. You are keeping the soul in ignorance. The soul can make spiritual advancement if the right inputs are given, if the right knowledge is given, but you are depriving that knowledge just for just for increasing your number of followers. This is actually himsa. So, a person who has understood the proper Vedic conclusions from a bona fide acharya, he will never perform himsa. He will never keep other living entities in ignorance. He will speak the truth as it is. See, Srila Prabhupada did that. Srila Prabhupada, when he was trying to register his society, ISKCON society in New York City, some people came and gave him advice. See, you're trying to make an international society and you're calling it as International Society for Krishna Consciousness. But if you keep this name Krishna, only some people will come to you. If you want to appeal to everybody, if you want to attract everybody, why don't you call it as International Society for God Consciousness? This was the advice given by many people to Srila Prabhupada while he was registering his organization name. So Prabhupada said, no, God is a very vague term, Prabhupada said. It has no spiritual weightage. That word God has no spiritual weightage. And if I say God consciousness, then everybody will bring their own God. They will bring competitors to this position God. Then it will become again a hodgepodge understanding. I have started this movement. I am very clear in my mind that I want to present Krishna as explained in the Vedic scriptures, as revealed in the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. I want to present Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to everybody. I am very clear about it. So I don't want to, dilute the purpose of my mission. Prabhupada was very clear about it. He had no doubt. Oh yeah, maybe I should think like this. What they're saying is correct. If I name it as International Society for God Consciousness, maybe more people will come. Prabhupada did not think like this. In fact, Prabhupada was not after big number of people. This is very interesting. Prabhupada would always quote from his spiritual master. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to always say, when you go for preaching, when you try to give a class or something, you may not have any audience. Sometimes you may not have anybody to listen to you. But Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, even though there is nobody, you sit and give class. The walls will hear, he would say. What is the meaning of this? Walls will hear means what? At least you are speaking for your own purification. You will hear your own voice, what you are speaking from the Shastra. At least you are hearing. Don't be after big number of followers. Another time, Prabhupada gave another analogy. Suppose if you go to a diamond shop, will you see a big queue there in the diamond shop? Huge number of people are standing there to buy diamonds. Have you ever seen anything like that? Prabhupada said, no. Our Krishna consciousness movement, we are actually giving the real diamond to people. Only those who know the real worth of it and those who can afford it, they will come. See how Prabhupada was so daring. Prabhupada went to the Western world where people practically had no understanding about what is Krishna, what is Bhagavad Gita, what is Bhakti Yoga. But he was very clear in his purpose and he established the purpose without any compromise. This is the quality of a bona fide spiritual master. A bona fide spiritual master does not dilute his philosophy just to suit the audience requirement, just to increase the number of followers. No. In fact, okay, forget about, presenting Krishna. Prabhupada did another amazing thing. He said, if you want to become my disciple, you have to follow the four regulative principles. No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. And whom did he tell this to? He told this to the whole world, especially in the Western countries, where people's everyday life was revolving around meat eating, intoxication, gambling, and all these activities. So such people also gave up their sinful activities and they accepted the instructions of Srila Prabhupada, surrendered, they became devotee, they transformed their lives. Prabhupada did not say, okay, you continue to eat meat and still you can become my disciple. No. And he is not telling this in some vegetarian country. Majority of the people are non-vegetarians. In fact, even today, if you go, I keep hearing from many devotees who go from Bangalore to different parts of the world. They say it is so difficult to find vegetarian food in many countries across the world. Means they can't imagine a meal without non-vegetarian food. And now in this 21st century, that is the situation. Imagine back then when Srila Prabhupada went, how was the situation? Right? And Prabhupada did not compromise. He said, you have to give up meat, no eggs also. If you love Krishna, you have to give up meat. Prabhupada presented this without any compromise. Right? So this is a very, very important thing that we understand. So where is the spirit coming from? From where? How did Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur get this spirit? How did our spiritual master Srila Prabhupada get this spirit? What is the basis of this uncompromising spirit that we can see here in the Isopanishad verse? Isopanishad, this knowledge is telling us, don't think that you can take any process, you can worship any devata and get the same output, same final result. No, you will get anyad ahuhu. You will get a different result by worshipping different personalities. So this is a very, very important point. The spirit of this Srila, we can see in the life and teachings of Srila Prabhupada, in the Acharya's life. This is the meaning of passing down the spirit. Right? Many people may also chant the same Isopanishad mantras. Right? Many people, Gurukuls or many spiritualists, they may even chant these mantras every day. But have they understood the spirit of this mantra? Are they following it in their daily life? So nowadays, many temples, if you go, especially in India, maybe even abroad, when they start a new temple, since they want to attract all kinds of worshippers, in the temple, they will have all the Devata Murtis. Oh, we want worshippers of Rama also to come to our temple. We want the worshippers of Vishnu. We want the worshippers of Shiva. We want the worshippers of Brahma. We also want the worshippers of Sai Baba. Everybody should come to our temple. So they will have all the deities. So what is the understanding that common man will get when he sees all the deities in one place? That means everyone is as good as the other. You choose whichever you want. It's like a supermarket. You go to a big mall or a supermarket, you will find varieties, anything you can choose. It's like shopping, you can shop. So people who come to the temples, first of all, they don't have proper understanding. And when they see all the devatas are present, all are worshipped equally, then they will say everybody is same. What a misleading philosophy. What a misleading, that is the problem in the current Kali Yuga. Neither people are interested in understanding, studying the Vedic scriptures. And if some people are interested, there are so many false propagandists, fake gurus, bogus gurus who actually give a wrong understanding to the common people. In this way, there is practically no hope for people to get real understanding, isn't it? But we are very fortunate We have come in touch with Srila Prabhupada, who is coming in a bona fide parampara system. And in an uncompromising manner, Srila Prabhupada is presenting Krishna consciousness in his books, in his movement, through his lectures, through his conversations, through his letters. We can see the daring and uncompromising spirit of a bona fide Acharya in the person of Srila Prabhupada. So we must take this knowledge very seriously and practice it with sincerity and try to share this knowledge with more and more people. So we may not get big number of people, that's okay. But there will be seekers around us. And if we do not reach out to those seekers, it will be a great disservice to humanity. There will be people who are ready to take up this philosophy and surrender to Krishna. As Krishna says, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate. After many, many lifetimes, a person in real knowledge will come to me. So all the souls are evolving to that stage, and we should help the souls to evolve by preaching. Somebody may be able to appreciate only prasadam. We should distribute Krishna prasadam. Somebody may be able to appreciate festivals. We should invite them to our temple. Somebody may be in a position to appreciate philosophy and discuss more and more. We should help them also. We should give them Srila Prabhupada's books. In this way, one or the other way, somehow or the other, we should help them in their spiritual journey. And that will be the greatest seva that we can do to humanity. So with this, we come to the end of today's discussion. We will meet again and discuss more. There are many more interesting points Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport. We will discuss that in the next session. Shri Isopanishad ki jai, Vishwa Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In a short while, we will be chanting the first chapter of the Bhagavad Gita verses. Those who want to join us, please stay tuned.